Next from Jose Sanchez, subject is Raw on Netflix. Hey K100, hope everyone, including that wimp Joe, are all good. With Raw set to head over to Netflix starting 2025, it presents creative with an opportunity to possibly age up the show a bit. Not saying there's anything wrong with the current product, but certain stories could benefit from some aging up. The occasional curse word for real personal feud, or the well-timed use of color for real heated match, could benefit the show. Thoughts on any of this? Thank you, Jose Sanchez, Queens, New York. P.S. Disco, I realized last year I took many cheap shots at you via the email, so I apologize for that. As a way to make up for that, I'll be gifting you various dipping sauces ranging from chipotle mayo to mango habanero to honey mustard miso. I hope this will warrant acceptance of my apology. Well, it did warrant another suspension, okay, for
Wait a
cheap
minute.
shot at
Can I just say one
you,
thing
man.
real quick,
Go
Di?
ahead. Yeah.
I highly recommend the mango habanero.
Okay. Well, both of you can highly recommend it while he's suspended.
Plus, he called me a wimp too, so that should be a double suspension, I think.
Nah,
First of all,
they could take shots at you.
the WWE.
I like Jose.
The WWE has gotten away from foul language and what do you call it, in color, blood, because they are invested in cultivating new fan bases starting with the youth, and they don't want to do anything to stray away from family entertainment. Okay, if you got your 7 and 8-year-old kid, and you're watching the show and there's blood and stuff, you don't want your kid watching, you might turn the channel, so they don't provide that type of content on their show, which is smart, because they can't not.
And it's not necessary. Look at the numbers.
It's not. It's not. It's the brother fake. Like the fights are not real. There's no reason to do like
that to the
like
marks.
blood,
Yeah.
especially when we know that you're not, the blood's not coming from the physical contact. It's coming because the guy's slicing himself up like it.
By the way, just so you know, the other day I read somewhere that a lot of fans are mad at me because I used the term marks.
Right.
I'm not going to stop using it.
Yeah, me neither, because that's a word that when you want to train and get in the business, okay, and not become a mark anymore, then we'll stop. That's what you can, yeah. So we can use that word.
Plus, it triggers them, which makes me even happier.
Right.
Go ahead.
Next is from Dan Garcia.
The funny, just real quick about blading. It's like I learned about it in the 90s. Most fans know what it is, and it's just an accepted part of the show. But if you try to tell a non-wrestling fan that that's how a wrestler bleeds, they either don't believe it or they're disgusted. They're like, they do what?
Gross.
Like it's not a normal. Yeah,
it's something that 14-year-old girls do that are suicidal.
Yeah,
they cut themselves. It's like she's right.
I like the thumbs up came up again. Yeah. Somebody's hacked you, my friend.
Yeah. Next is from Dan Garcia. I don't know if this is actual Daniel Garcia, the main event Dan Garcia.
Could be.
Subject is mailbag question. What's up, guys? This is Danny G out of New Mexico, and I want to hear your views on talents getting themselves over versus the company getting themselves over. I always read fans' comments about promotion dropping the ball or not using someone correctly. What percentage of responsibility falls on each side? I see big number of AEW guys that have been on the roster for years and have the same appeal as they did from their first match. As a company, do you keep trying to push, or at what point of time do you move on and try something new? I listen to the show daily, not for news or rumors, but there's a big difference of games spoken for those who are hoping for a job one day and those who don't need it. Thank you for keeping it 100. Let me tell you something, bro. Nearly every talent is given an opportunity to get over, and if you're given a backstage segment, if you're given like a minute promo, and you bomb, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you got to nail your promos. That's how you get over it. If you can't do promos, you're not going to get over it. It's nobody's fault but yours. Like look at what LA Knight did when he got the opportunity against Bray Wyatt. They're putting him out there as a whipping boy to just get Bray Wyatt over in his first match, and he torched him on the mic, and he's the one that got over.
Yeah, and then like 2 weeks later, if you remember, they gave LA Knight, they put him face to face with Undertaker in Philly for that anniversary show.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, they're giving him a chance,
Yeah, because he was strong on the mic, So that's how, bro. It's so simplistic. It's like everybody and their mother knows how to wrestle these days. You look at their work, like nobody sucks that they're putting on TV. But there's only a handful of guys that are getting over because a handful of guys do promos. And you would think guys would be constantly practicing their promos to try to come up with something to get them over. And it's just like, I don't think they really care. And then they'll complain why they're not getting pushed.
Yeah, this guy was asking about, what percentage is it of the company and what percentage is the wrestler? In my opinion, it's 50-50.
50-50.
And let me just say this. If they don't have anything for you, come up with something and bother them till they do it. And if they do it, you better make sure that pops because you may never get another chance.
Example. I had a good enough gimmick Because remember in early WCW, the mid-card guys, we weren't getting a lot of angles.
Right.
But I was entertaining in the ring with my gimmick and my character.
And then you got entertaining on the mic.
But I didn't really have a lot of mic time from the get-go. I was just getting over with the gimmick and doing my timing.
Yeah, but once they gave you the mic time, you got more over.
Right. Yeah.
And let me just say, there's a little advice to all the young cats out there. Bro, if you've been somewhere for like 3 years and you're at the same place where you started or below, it's time to roll unless you're in WWE, because who doesn't want to make that type of money, right? And to tell you the truth, back in the day, I would have only waited a year. And if you didn't do nothing with me, I was gone. But that's the type of confidence I had.
Well, it's funny because the email was written by a guy named Dan Garcia. And the question he had about guys that have been pushed and maybe they're not getting any further, and would you keep pushing them, reminded me of Daniel Garcia, because he's been pushed almost since the beginning. And is he really that much further along than he was when they started? I mean, I think he's good. He's charismatic, good-looking kid, all that. But would you keep pushing Daniel Garcia? Use him as an example. Would you keep using Daniel Garcia?
Well, the problem with Daniel Garcia is Tony Khan's idea of pushing guy is putting him in the main event.
Right.
But if you're constantly just putting him in the main event, you've been in 7 main events, and you're 0-7 in the main event.
Or putting him in a faction, putting him in a faction, hoping he gets the rub. How many factions had he been in?
Right.
A couple.
Yeah, exactly.
He's with Jericho.
Yeah. But he's
whatever happened to your future superstar Nick Camarado, Joe?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, well, I hope QT's coming back, because he needs QT to keep an eye on him and get him some chances, you know.
Next was Sir David Benson. The subject is late to the party, AVNs, and fair trade. Dear K100 crew, hope all is well. I have 3 questions. Number 1, Conan and Disco. During the Monday Night Wars, many people jumped ship from WWF to WCW and vice versa. My question is, who from the WWF roster do you think would have been a fair trade for each of you had you switched companies? Number 2, growing up, I had a few occasions, video games and movies where I actually saw her play a sequel in a franchise before seeing her playing the first. I wonder if you guys ever experienced this with a movie. No. Okay, who has been a fair trade for you, Conan, for WWF?
I got some answers.
I would have traded.
Sorry, Conan. I would say, and this is my late 90s fan brain coming back on here. Road Dogg for Conan and Brian Christopher for Disco, I would say.
What do you think about those trades, Conan? A fair trade?
I don't know how good Road Dogg would have been doing my character, but
well, it's kind of the same shtick. You have the pre-match audience participation stuff.
Yeah,
but my stuff revolved around Spanish. But anyways,
right, that's true. Yeah,
but still similar style of gimmick.
All right, I'll give you a fair trade.
There wasn't anybody like you in that case.
I'll give you a fair trade.
Yeah,
a Disco for Hornswoggle, nothing.
Okay, I should yellow card Conan for that, because that's a cheap shot. Next is Brad Dykin. The subject is Owen Hart Hall of Fame. Hey, K100 crew, my question is, now that all the McMahons are out of WWE, do you think that Martha will be opening the company celebrating Owen Hart's legacy with merch and a Hall of Fame induction? Brad Dykins. I don't know.
I thought that
Martha Hart is done with the WWE. She actually went and used AEW to promote.
That's right.
They sold Owen shirts there.
It's a very good point.
Towards that company, he's never going to do anything with that. And I don't know.
I don't think it's the people, but the company. But who knows?
Right.
I thought that was a strange question. Like that's what pops into your head after the Vince gets the boot. Is I wonder if Owen will be in the Hall of Fame. Like people are still
maybe he figures out other people are going to ask.
Yeah.
So next is from JG. So just Marty Jannetty. Hey, K100 fam. They really dropped the ball on Marty Jannetty. Jannetty should have been Razor Ramon's lackey. Gave him a 1980s nightclub gimmick. Actually call him Party Marty. I'll always say this. Jannetty's biggest mistake was after the split. He just stayed a rocker. No new gimmick like HBK. Jannetty was a rocker his entire career.
Yeah.
Okay, did you hear a question in this?
No. Did you?
Okay, so let's suspend him. JG from Jersey, you have to ask a question. You should know this. 2-week suspension, because you should know this.
Oh, JG.
Right? Yeah, he's sent something he should know, right?
Yeah, he should know, yeah.
Right.
But that 80s gimmick, Marty was with you guys for a cup of coffee in WCW, and he feuded with Raven for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Boom. Make Marty kind of like a junkie character and put him in the flock.
Joe is such a Raven historian here. Remember the 2-week angle with Marty Jannetty.
Gee, I think you were fighting the Flock as a babyface too, so you might even teamed with Marty around then.
No, I doubt. No, I did not.
Well, not in a match, but I mean, you guys would team up to fight them off.
Next on Charlton Christen, the second time Steph told Vince no. In the WWE-produced McMahon documentary from
this
the
is
late
weird.
2000s, Stephanie McMahon admitted at the time her second time she ever told her father no was a proposed angle where Vince will be revealed as the father of her first child. Steph stated then the proposition for the father to be Shane after Steph had declined the original idea. She shut down the Shane idea as well. As bookers or fans of wrestling, would you find such a program entertaining? Included is the audio of Bruce Pritchard for his podcast stating it wasn't that angle. Vince asked the question, what if he was the father? Bruce made the statement in the first 10 seconds.
What? That is a angle. What do you mean, what if it's up down? I'd like to hear this because it says the first 10 seconds.
I was looking at the thing when the came around. Like I was like getting a rabbit hole in some of the site and the stories on the stories are brutal. It's like
really,
it's like the people are dying of just like constantly.
Really?
Yes, it's awful. But bro, look, Joe, look this up. Look like the top searches for
God.
and think
no, I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear.
Are like the top ones, aren't they? Like close to the top.
Oh,
ones,
which
right?
categories? Yeah, to look it up. Okay.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a thing, Joe.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear Bruce Pritchard say whatever it said.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now
here 10 seconds, right?
We can hear this because that's a short.
Well, this is a reel. This is short. A reel.
They're both short. Yeah, they're both short.
Please.
Okay, so I'll here's Bruce.
October of 2005, there's a 3-hour Raw. It's billed as WWE Homecoming. All 4 McMahons are given a Stone Cold Stunner by Stone Cold. It never gets old. The following week, Vince demands an apology from the ringside commentators for not coming to the family's aid. Turns into a new feud here to make JR look bad. But around this time, you get a little rumor that pops up. So the story goes. When Stephanie gets pregnant with her first baby, Vince wants to run an angle where in the climax it would be revealed that Vince McMahon was the daddy.
He didn't want to run an angle. He asked a question one time, what if he was the father? That's it. Now, people can run with that and that, but nothing more than that. It wasn't. It was. And again, this is coming from people that have never been in had a creative bone in their body.
Help.
You throw creative.
Help.
All right, so now.
Trying to yell.
Right. You do throw creative.
Right.
You know, often jokingly, and then people think, like the Martian invasion angle that people thought that I wanted to do, and the Visible Man, that was serious contribution. We're having some creative videos.
Yeah, but those are funny.
You joke and you have fun, and everybody laughs. It breaks the ice when you're having a writer's block, right, Conan? You know,
right?
You know
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
of course, 100%.
Like sometimes you just get people cracking up, and it opens the door. Bro,
but that's funny, Di. Suggesting, what if I was Stephanie's kid's father? No one's gonna laugh at that. That's not funny. It's creepy.
It's kind of funny.
Now this is a YouTube. This is like a YouTube short or Facebook short. Put it on. See what she says.
About wanting to be the father of my baby in a storyline for TV, which again is only the second time I've ever actually said no to him for something he wanted to do, and that one was just a little too gross. Actually, it's completely disgusting, and I don't find the entertainment value in it at all. And he's actually my father, so how could I even play that out? I can't fake kiss my dad like we were in love or something. I mean, it's just revolting all the way around. So then he came up with the idea for Shane to actually be the father of my baby, my brother. And I, again, just know that I know that sometimes that happens in this world, but it's not going to happen with us. I just can't do that. That's too much.
That's a great answer.
Let me tell you exactly what happened there. Somebody in that booking meeting stooged to her that Vince brought that up.
Right.
And now she's repeating the story. Because if you put the two stories together, Bruce said, Vince said, what if I'm the father? Somebody told Stephanie, hey, Vince said that, well, what if he was your father?
Well, she might have been there, because she was head of creative then. Yeah.
But it sounds like in the thing.
Oh, she was in the room then, probably. when he brought that up. What if I was
she at the very beginning of the recording disco, she says that Vince asked her. Nobody told her.
So maybe Bruce is lying then. I don't know. Whoever. Sounds like a snippet from creative. Right. That's been the mailbag.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.